Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Helpful Lockpicker here, and the video I have for you today is going to be a challenge lock. This challenge lock is called the Healer by Washington State Picker. It is a quickset lock with the KW1 keyway, and the key operates the lock very well, sticks just a little bit, but it does not offer any problem. Here's a quick shot of the bidding. So a little while ago, Washington State Picker reached out to me asking if I'd like to try out a challenge lock, and he sent me this email. The email says, "The Helpful Lockpicker, thank you for your correspondence via email, and thank you for your wonderful and insightful videos. You have taught me many things over the last few months, and I appreciate you. I decided that I wanted to make a challenge lock for some of the bigger names of Locksport, and of course you are one of the biggest. You stated that you like Kwikset Challenge Locks, which I do, so I whipped you up a hopefully challenging Kwikset lock. Thanks again for your service to this awesome community. Sincerely, Washington State Picker." And signed by him. Well, thank you so much for sending out this lock. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to get this lock opened up, and I'm very excited to try it out. Thank you so much for sending this my way. What I'd like to try to do is present a challenge lock in a different format. What I'd like to do is show you the pins first so you can see what I am dealing with as I am trying to pick the lock open, and hopefully you'll be able to make it so you can follow along better and learn a little bit along the way, because challenge locks are often not very easy and they really do test out your skill set. So when we start off with the key pins, you can see in one we're going to have a pin and pin. It is lightly serrated here, and then it has a serrated cap. This can provide some very interesting feedback, especially when the cap gets overset. This drops down, and this can make a difficult area to be able to get this out of the way. Then in 2 we are going to have a standard key pin. 3 we're going to have a standard key pin. 4 we're going to have a spooled key pin, and in 5 we're going to have a serrated key pin. When we move on to the driver pins, you can see we have a pin and pin that has a serrated portion that meets up with the spring, and then this little piece that looks like a little T-pin will reverse around 180 degrees, sit inside the pin, and this can make a really interesting little T-pin scenario. Then we're going to have a T-pin in number 2. We're going to have a standard in 3, another serrated pin and pin in 4, and these really give some very interesting feedback. And then a cool little serrated looking spool in 5. The serrations kind of go across the inside of the spool. When we take a look inside the lock, you can see that in the plug in chambers 1, 3, and 5, those are all going to be threaded, and that will provide some interesting feedback, and those really match up pretty well with the pins because they can make it much more difficult. And then when we take a look at the Bible here, we can see that in 1, 3, and 5, I believe, are all going to be threaded as well. And those can make some really difficult times when you're trying to set the pins, because serrations on top of serrations on top of serrations can just really make a lock very difficult to open. So without further ado, let's get into picking this lock open. Alright, so we have the lock loaded up on the vise here. This is the Healer by Washington State Picker. It's a Kwikset lock with the KW1 keyway. The key sticks a little bit when we insert it and a little bit when we turn it, but it works very well nonetheless. So let's see what it takes to get this lock open. I'm going to use top of the keyway tension in 50 thousandths, and then I'm going to use a DeForest diamond in 25 thousandths. So let's start off in the back here. 5, 4, just touch 3, set that, got a big false set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Rotate back on 4, gotta click on that, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click on 3 again, got that false setback. 4, 5, 1, 2, nothing. 3 feels set. 4. So all these pens feel rather seized up once we got this false set. So I'm going to just try to rotate the lock back a smidge and see if we can find a pen that's going to set going forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go back another little bit. Now the pens aren't all seized. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Touch 2. Got a deeper false set. It's a pretty significant false set actually. And I hit either 2 or 3 and the lock is now opened up. Now I wanted to start off by saying, Washington State Picker, this was a fantastic lock, the healer that you made. This was a Kwikset lock, which is one of the quintessential starter locks. It's very easy, but you were able to turn this into a lock that was just very difficult to get open. You had to be able to have a strong understanding of serrated pens and spools. I feel like you have serrated the chambers, which is not always my favorite thing to work on, but I'm really thinking that this was a really cool lock because you were able to make a Kwikset lock one very challenging, where I even had to manually counter-rotate back in order to get the lock open, and it had some pretty decent bitting as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this lock out of the vise here, and we'll take a quick look at the pens. But Washington State Picker, thank you so much for sending this lock out to me. I know that you know that I enjoy working on Kwikset Challenge Locks, and I'm glad you were able to think of me when you made this lock. So I'm going to now get some of our supplies together, and we'll get this lock gutted. So I'm going to lock this lock back up since we do have the key, and we're going to take the circlip off the back here. Then we're going to insert our key. And then I'm going to insert a shim just in case, because a lot of these Kwikset locks have those kind of riveted cores and you can get stuck on them and have them snag quite easily. So let's see what is on the inside of this lock. Alright, so put the Bible down here, take out the key, and let's take a quick look at what we have for the key pins. Alright, so for key pin number 1, it does look to be somewhat serrated. And let's see, looks like it comes apart. It's like kind of like a pen and pen with the little top that comes off, and that chamber is in fact serrated, so that can add to the difficulty. Key pin number 2 is just a standard Schlage looking key pin in a non-threaded chamber. Key pin number 3 is a spooled key pin in a threaded chamber with a spool going down pretty far. Actually, I stand corrected. That is key pin number 4, and that comes from a a non-serrated chamber. So let me take out number 3 right now. As you can see, that is still in the plug. So key pin number 3 looks like it is a standard key pin, kind of more like the Schlage style and not the Kwikset style, and that comes from a serrated portion of the plug. And number 5 comes from a serrated plug, and that is a serrated key pin. So now let's see what's on the inside of this lock. So looking down, we can see we have a serrated pen and pen. Looks like it's going to be a copper spring. Then we have threading in that chamber. And then let me pull out the shim actually. Driver pin number 2 is this T-pin looking pin. With a copper spring, and I cannot really tell, but that does not look threaded to me. Chamber number 3, we have a standard pin, and on top of that we have a steel spring, and that one does look like it has been threaded as well. Now 4 looks like it is a pen in pen, serrated on the top, T-pen kind of thing on the bottom, and that comes with a smaller steel spring, and it's hard to tell. I do not believe that chamber was threaded. And now in 5 we have this kind of like spool that is somewhat serrated in the middle here with a really thin end and a copper spring, and in 5 it was in fact serrated. So what I'm going to do now is let's get a close-up of the pins so we can get a really good look at that, and then we will get a closer look at the plug afterwards. So we can see we have going across this kind of pen and pen key pen that's serrated, followed by standard spool serrated, a pen and pen in 1, a T-pen kind of like pen in 2, standard in 3, pen and pen in 4, and a really cool spool in 5. So when we take a look at this lock, I will shine my light on it a little bit, and we'll be able to see on the inside of the plug here, you can see it's threaded in 1, 3, and 5. And we'll get some good photos up of this as well. And then when you take a look at the plug on the inside, the Bible, you can see that it is threaded in 1, threaded in 3, and threaded in 5, it appears. Try to get some pictures of that as well. But either way, guys, this has been the challenge lock that was sent out to me by Washington State Picker called the Healer. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a really cool lock and I had a lot of fun working on it. Thank you so much to the Washington State Picker for sending this out to me. And if you guys have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. As always, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for checking this out.